Hey everyone, as promised, here's the second part of the first to 10 series from ft10 this weekend from November. Yesterday we were able to see Gian facing off against Russia in a crazy set. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. It's also on my YouTube channel. And today we're gonna watch the second half, which is a face-off of Gian versus Nori. Now, I haven't done a commentary yet about Nori. You really should know about him. He is probably the strongest player in Osaka and overall one of the strongest KOF11 players. If you want to see Nori in action, see what he's capable of, I suggest taking a look at 2019 Savakoro Cup held at ft10, where his team was in the finals against Russia's team. I'm not gonna spoil the results. I will put a timestamp in there for the match, and take a look. It's pretty amazing. Nori is playing a team of Ralph, Kula, and Gato. He has a very calculating and careful style, probably not as aggressive as Gian, at least from what I recall from playing him and also watching his matches at Savakoro Cup. And he's also very knowledgeable about the game. I talked quite a bit with him when I was in Nagoya, and he has a very deep knowledge of many characters and can play many more characters than that team to a very high effect. So I'm very much looking forward to this set. I have no idea how this is gonna end. I cannot give a prediction at all. These players are very strong, both of them, and it's going to be very interesting to see how their styles match up. Also, this is finally some footage of Ralph for all you Ralph fans. This will be, hopefully, if he plays Ralph as point, this will be Ralph play on the highest level. So players are still preparing here. I'm just letting the video run, again using my strange VLC tech, grabbing the file from YouTube to avoid lag. Hopefully this is gonna start soon. What's there to say about Ralph before we start? I guess for those that don't know, Ralph is considered a strong character. He's about A tier, maybe A minus, or yeah, around that ranking. He's a character based on single hits that deal incredibly high damage. A very straightforward and basic approach to the game. And what you do with him is you try to abuse his unblock as much as you can. Unblock is the actual official name for the move. It's not something the Japanese made up or I made up. It's really called unblock. It's just his uppercut. And that uppercut is unblockable if you just do it like that, hence the name unblock. Has a lot of startup. However, if you cancel into that uppercut, what's happening is that it basically becomes three times as fast. It becomes blockable, but it also becomes a combo tool that way. And that makes it incredibly strong. What you can do in neutral is you can just do standing E or crouching C or crouching A and cancel it, empty cancel it into the upper, and that basically serves as a poke with a gigantic rectangular hitbox. And if you manage to hit, let's say, a counter hit standing E into that thing, that's almost 30% damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can even tag on his air special move where he does the dive bomb, because that can hit on the ground. So that's bread and butter Ralph. Try to abuse his long range normals, standing E, far C, and cancel into unblock. And also try to hit confirm into unblock, and now and then throw out a throw. That's basic Ralph gameplay, and it's incredibly effective. So I'm expecting Nori to do just like that against Gian. It's going to be interesting to see how he plays against Nori's Kula. Ralph against Kula is not an easy matchup at all. For obvious reasons, Kula just can keep you at a distance in the corner where it's very hard to break out, and in general she's such a strong character. However, there's a lot of situations where Kula is in counter hit state, for example when she's doing race spin and all kinds of small jump approaches, so there's a good chance that Nori will get those counter hits if he's really looking for them. He might even use a delayed close C as Okizeme against reversal race spin to try and get a counter hit, which is a very common strategy top players use. So I have no idea how long this pregame is taking, so I explained a lot now about Ralph, and I'm sure you're familiar by now with all the other characters. We've seen them many times now in all the videos I've done, so I'm gonna skip ahead a bit until the character select. And there we go. Interesting. So Nori is on one player side now, Gian is on two player side. And the portraits are flipped at the top. The top left is the old photo of Gian, and on the right is Ralph for Nori. It's flipped right now. So there we go, right off the bat, Ralph, that's the standing E I was talking about. Nori backing off, trying to get in, that's a jumping E I think. I keep confusing jumping E and jumping D with Ralph. And now Ralph is cornered. Gian punishing there with a standing C back hit into hard knockdown, goes for the jumping C, Nori rolls away, gets hit by the down forward B. These down forward Bs by Kula very often happen accidental. If you want to just do down back B and then your opponent rolls through, you will get the down forward B. It's almost an option select and you just get the down forward B and will actually just knock down, which is nice. So now Kula is cornered and Nori doing bread and butter pressure there with standing, crouching A linked into standing E. However, he ate a EX super and now Ralph is out of the picture. Now we're having a Kula mirror. Strange cross up there, standing E. Still blocked correctly by Gian. I have to be careful not to say Gori. Nori Gori. No, it's Nori Gian. Too many singular names. The upkick loop there from Gian. There we go. Finished off. Waiting for reversals. Just going for the throw. Very nice throw break there from Nori. Nori now backing off. And Gian taking his time, going for the slide. Runs through Kula. You can do that when she's doing the Okemi roll. And now it's time for Nori's Gato. And we're having leader Gato mirrors there. Shift into cross-up crouching B for Gian. And Gian landing the full combo into super cancel EX, builds some meter, hits with the breath, that's a dead Gato. High jump jumping C, crouching B, and Nori trying to break out with standing B, and jumping E takes it. Gian takes the first match in a convincing manner. The match took quite a long time. Look at this, it was a 60-second match, but Gian didn't take much damage. He only lost some health for Kula, but basically his Ryo didn't even have to fight, and his Gato didn't lose much health. It's gonna be interesting to see how these matches develop. That's the cool thing about first attempts. There's always plenty of time to adapt to your opponent, time to shake up things by switching your order and trying maybe some new approaches, which is basically what we saw yesterday from Urusha versus Gian. So match number 2 coming up here. Ralph backing off with a backdash, and Kula going for standing B and breath. This is very reckless poking there from Kula. If she, maybe she has a good read on Nori, and maybe that crouching B actually beats standing E into upper, into unblock, sorry. Otherwise that would be very risky to poke like that. Anyway, we're back to neutral now. Nori's backing off, standing E into Kara cancel upper. Has to block again, rolls forward, tries another wild swing into upper. I say upper unblock, it's the same thing. And there we go, that's an upper hit. OTG and Shoryuken from Gian. Now Nori lands the hit, goes for the roll Okiseme, counter hit standing C. That was probably a race spin. That hence the counter hit air hit. Now Gian shifting to Gato, goes for the knockdown, roll Okiseme standing A into instant over jumping D. That's a dead Ralph. Nori now rolling out of the corner. Gian is cornered now, tries to build meter, slash break free, manages to get out with the air dash. Jumping D, standing D, crouching B into super. Hard knockdown. Is he gonna go for the roll Okizeme again? Yes, does it. Fake cross up. Standing D, close D, misses the combo, doesn't matter. Both players have saving shift available to them. And Nori just shifts out from the slide and only has one shift stock left now. Gian still has saving shift if he needs it. And Nori is cornered now, going for the standard crouching B, crouching D block string. He's still cornered, taking his time. He's very calculating, as I said. He's a very patient player. Doesn't want to hit too many buttons. Is just very careful in what he's doing. Always thinks through his approach. Nice bait there. Didn't fall in the trap of pushing a button. Goes for the A link into LDM. There we go. Cross up jumping, we miss. Doesn't matter. You can cross up Ryo as he stands up with small jump because of his small vertical hitbox while standing up. Hard knockdown there for Nori. Instant over jumping C, crouching B. Waits for a reversal. And now it's Giant's turn again. Tenryu. And that's a dead Kula. Now we have another Gato mirror coming up. Dash E, counter hit didn't confirm. Maybe it wasn't a counter, that didn't look properly. Oh, nice shift combo there into hard knockdown. Jumping E from Ryo. Another jumping E. He's just trying to snipe Gato at this point. Nice. And gets him. Air game. The air game versus Gato is difficult. It looks like Gato doesn't have any normals that have a good horizontal reach in the air, but that's actually very deceptive. His standing E has an incredibly good hitbox. It might be short, but the hurt box is also very small. So that shoulder from Gato, that jumping E, can beat a lot of air-to-air moves. I wouldn't be surprised though if Ralph's jumping E either trades or wins against that thing, hence the attempts from Gian to hit with it, I guess.
変えた方が良かったですね。失礼しました。これはどっちで変えればよかったのかな。ちょっとすみませんね。
So match number 3, Gian with a 2-score lead now. Nice rollout there from Nori, goes for the command grab and just does jump up standing B, run up C, C, hit confirm into upper, OTG. Look at that damage. Look at that damage. Cooler already lost 60% health. That's what I meant when I said Ralph is like almost a single hit character. You don't need too many hits with him. He deals so much damage. And now Ralph unfortunately cornered instead of a jumping D, standing B from Kula. Sweep into race spin. I'm surprised he didn't cancel into Shoryuken there. And that's an up kick loop. Builds lots of meter. And for the B, that's the perfect one. And gets the kill. Sits at exactly 2 stocks now. Now it's Nori's Kula in the ring. Just runs up, runs straight through the projectile, goes for the jumping E counter hit, confirms the jumping E, crouching B in case Gian rolls out of the corner. Now it's Kula versus Kula. Gian is cornered, being very patient there, using breath down for the C to get out. Nice reactionary EX super there from Nori. Nori punishing, that's a punish actually, you can punish in the mirror match, light kick race spin with Shoryuken because it's -4 and Shoryuken is 3 frames. Jumping C, typical Giant backdash there on wake up to flip and not having to block that Okizeme. Goes for the dandy step, far D, jumping E, crouching B. Just pokes away at Kula, goes for the Shoryuken punch. It's a very rare move to see, that overhead from Ryo. There's no real reason to do it because all of his jump normals are so good. He would rather do those. Nice shift combo there, that's a stun. Nice combo there from Gian. Jumping D, standing C, and Tenryu, and takes the 3rd match. So Gian with a nice lead already of 3-0. Nori still trying to find a rhythm there. Just from watching the matches, they take so long. It doesn't look like Nori is underperforming. It looks like it's a very even match, but then suddenly Gian wins. I guess he lands those crucial combos when he has to. Those shift combos into stun, those 1-shift, 2-shift combos to Ryo, for example, to deal some extra damage. It's just working out nicely for Gian. Also that up kick loop, obviously, in the beginning of the match to kill off Ralph and build that extra meter is helping a lot. So Nori with the jumping E counter hit, and now Gian swinging wildly with jumping C. Has to be careful not to eat an upper there. Jumping E, standing E, backs off a bit, standing E into Kara cancel upper into OTG. That's another 60% gun with these few hits. Jumping C and Kula breaks free. Now it's her time to pressure again. Heavy kick race spin, jumping C, far C into race spin, goes for Shoryuken. Didn't want to shift too far away from the corner for the corner loop. Very nice crouching B, run up crouching B to get that low. Nori was also already blocking high, scared of the very quick overheads of Kula. Nice cross up CC into upper into OTG. That's about 30%, 35% gone. And that's an overhead there, the Ralph kick. Also has some invulnerability, it's a really strange move. OTG, far E, very nice. Caught the backdash of Gian there. Didn't see the counter, so he didn't have to do the upper, so also very good that he wasn't greedy there, being very careful. There wasn't, unfortunately, a charged upper he did there. He failed to do the Kara cancel. Ralph is finally dead now, but Nori's having a great lead right now. However, Gian is sitting on 4 stocks. Gian cornered now, trying to break out. I'm not sure what he did there. He was caught airborne. Looked like forward B. Maybe he missed his anti-air super. I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, oh, looking good though for Nori. Yeah, and down he goes. Nori takes his first victory. So this is what happens if you get caught by Ralph a few times. Things just spiral out of control. You eat that counter hit E into upper and OTG, and suddenly you're thinking, where the hell is my health? What's happening? So that's the strength of Ralph. Just these random landing these random swings. I don't even want to call them random. If they're controlled, even better. If you control them, then your Ralph is really scary. but sometimes they just hit randomly on counter hit, and obviously that's a gift if you're a Ralph player, and horrible if you play against him. You just have to be really patient against this character and not press buttons in neutral. So there we go again, Ralph against Kula. Nori is always doing a backdash. Ralph is a good and wide backdash there to back off a bit, get in a better range for that far E into upper. Kula now landed a full combo into knockdown, 40% gun, jumping Z, jumping C. Nori manages to roll out, goes for far C, backs off a bit now. E into character cancel upper, gets stopped by breath. Standing E, not cancelled, jumping C, gets an air hit Shoryuken by Gian. Gian now backing off, and there's a stray upper hit into OTG. And Nori doing what he can to catch up in live. Meanwhile, Gian has already built 2 stocks from all the special move he has been using. Nice OTG there, and Nori now on 1 stock. That's a kill. Very nice counter hit combo there. Kula's Shoryuken is in counter hit state on recovery, so you can do a standing E there that will launch, and then you can combo into whatever you want, and your opponent cannot saving shift that because the standing E already launches. Ralph finally dead now. Now it's Kula against Ryo. Let's see how this matchup is for these players. So Nori is whiffing sweeps there. That's intentional. It gives you time to buffer a Shoryuken and smallens your hitbox a bit. Makes it a bit smaller, so it gives you some time to react. So it's both a bait and also locks you in place to make it easier to do a Shoryuken due to that crouch hitbox. Nori keeping his distance, going for these sweeps again, now cancelled into race spin, got the hit off into Shoryuken. He did far C into breath. I guess he could have also done E into EX super to bait that saving shift, but it's perfectly fine. He still has a lead now, I would say, even though it's 4 to 4 stocks. But Ralph is almost dead. Tenryu, that's a dead Kula. He could have done a guard cancel roll there, I guess, or guard cancel in general. Was sleeping there, but it's kind of hard to react to. It's so quick, that guard push from Gato. Oh, very greedy, but it worked for him. Also something we haven't seen yet from Nori, since he's such a calculating, careful player. That wake up super into Tenryu, that was a full 3 stocks in one shift. Nice Tenryu hit there from Gian, and now Nori is almost dead. Hits the jumping D into crouching B super into Zero Keeper. That's it, dead Gato. Fake cross up jumping E. He waits for a Shoryuken. Oh, this is really dangerous now for Gato, and Ryo just has to hit a single standing B and the match is over. There is his standing B attempt, and Nori went for the super and got punished on whiff. That Gato super, the Zero Key, was incredibly hard to punish. You basically have to make it whiff or punish it in the super free startup. It's -5, so you need a 4-frame move, and even if you have a 4-frame move, you have to be really close to punish. It was fortunate there for Giant that move completely whiffed. So Giant now with a 4-1 lead. It looks like Nori sort of caught his rhythm, though. That was a very nice win 2 matches ago, and that last match was also quite close. We'll see how these next matches will go. Nori backdashing, and neutral is starting. There we go. Jumping E, jumping C, crouching B, walk out, crouching B. Nice guard there from Nori. Good roll back. And there's the E counter hit into upper into OTG, and 40% is gone for Kula. Nice Shoryuken, jumping C. Another jumping C. Nori there going for the command grab, maybe a bit greedy, and eats a lot of damage there for it. Nice walk up jumping C. Nori was trying to mash crouching A and eats a full up kick loop, well, half an up kick loop, which is perfectly fine, because he doesn't have to super there. Nice reversal Shoryuken. Dodges a Tenryu, that's pretty big. That's 2 wasted stocks there for Giant. Went for the slide and didn't shift. Had to do the saving shift there, or just the shift to Gato. Nice up kick there. Jumping E, close D, far C. Goes for the dive, that's +0. You cannot mash into that since Gato's buttons are just too fast. After that, crouching B into sweep is still safe. Ryo going for the dandy step, was a bit too close there. Ryo managed to roll out of the corner. Jumping C hit from Gato. Gato's back in the corner. Ryo with the jumping D. Ryo trying to jump over the super, but Nori saw it coming and just did up kick super. Standing A confirmed to Tenryu. Hard knockdown. Goes for the dive kick again. Tries to react to the roll. Is a bit too slow and eats a Shoryuken into shift. And now another Tenryu, this time for Giant, and that's a dead Gato for Nori. Giant going for the projectile, Okizeme, and now Giant is cornered. Nori taking his time. Good that he didn't Shoryuken there. I think that wouldn't have hit against the Edge. Jumping E counter hit, jumping E, nice combo there. And I think that's a dead Gato. There we go, dead Gato. Tries to go for the instant over jumping C. Nice block there from Giant with the jumping E. And Nori going for the light kick, race spin into projectile, just to chip away at Giant, standing B. He just needs that one single hit. He's very patient now. He could guard cancel but doesn't want to. If you're very low on HP and all you need is like one guard cancel and maybe one hit, sometimes it's better to not do that guard cancel. People will catch on, and what they do is just they will delay their Okizeme and will make you whiff your E. You will just do your E slightly delayed, since you think, oh, there's gonna be like an Okizeme hit, and then there's no hit, your E's coming out and they punish you. It's a typical situation if you're low on HP. So good there, good decision there from Nori to not do the guard cancel, I would say, and just stay patient and wait for his chance to press a button. It takes a close match there.
かなりこれはね、ずるいと言ってももうおかしくないコンボですよね。最近あの時にですね、まだ倒しきれない時はですね、あえてたつき場を決めないで、コーガを置いてジャンプ攻撃ガードさせて禁止から天竜出して、そこでガードからして天竜の最終弾だけを当てて相手を倒すっていうことも結構やってるんですけどね、ジャイアンさん。ただ初手の状況ではなかなかゲージもそこまでたまりませんので。
So here we go, start of the match. Typical backdash for Nori, and Giant caught on meanwhile, immediately doing a super jump, trying to corner pin Nori. Nori now trying to escape from the corner, gets hit airborne by raise pin, eats the knockdown, already 40% health gone. Jumping C. He tries to mash in the C, unfortunately the high jump evaded that perfectly. Crouching B confirmed with the Shoryuken, hard knockdown. He gets it backdash again, or maybe airborne, and there we go, guard crash into up kick loops, looking very good for Giant. Nice reversal there with auto turn. Oh wow, I didn't see that before. He was just walking up to guard and tried to throw him out of Zero Kiba. However, Giant just saw it coming and throw braked it. What kind of conditioning do you have to think of that when you do your super? That your opponent will likely throw you, it's pretty crazy. Nice counter there from Gian, and reversal, jumping D. Oh, he didn't go for the anti-air super, just reset him with with sweep. Interesting. Oh, trade, and Nori mashing in there, and Giant having to saving shift. It's a heavy kick raise spin, block, gets hit by the breath, hard knockdown, and this time he goes for crouching B. Usually does like 80% jumping C so far, Giant. And Nori was trying to roll out of the corner, meanwhile Nori's Gato is dead, and we have a cooler mirror match coming up here. Both are sitting on 2 stocks. Giant has a huge life lead with all his characters, and gets the close C hit into hard knockdown. Nori, that is actually. I got confused there for a moment who is who. Nori with the breath hit, going for these sweeps again to buffer Shoryuken or maybe raise spin. Giant trying to get a hard knockdown with the down forward C, goes for jump C. Now Nori has to block. That was a raise spin too far away to punish, and Nori saw that. Finally close C into slide, into shift, and there we go. That's a one match for Giant. Nicely investing his full 3 stocks and 2 shifts for that kill combo.
2対5ですね。はい、ありがとうございます、カニさん。失礼しました。
Giant now at the halfway point with 5 wins over 2 for Nori.
さあ、依然リードはジャイアン3本リードしている状況。ノリは2本目、まだジャイアンは折り返ししていますが、
very strong Ralph player in Japan called Yukito. He's from Taiwan. I'm not sure whether he lives in Taiwan and just keeps visiting Japan, or he's actually living a longer time in Japan, but whenever I'm in Japan, I usually see him. So I guess he maybe takes longer vacations. In any case, he plays a very aggressive Ralph that loves to do a run-up throw and just run up close C, and plays a very 98 kind of KOF style. Very effective as well. Very different also from Nori's Ralph. He's also playing actually in the video I shall be linking in the description, the Sabakoro Festival from 2019. So I should suggest you check that out. He performed very well there as well. I'm not sure he played Ralph there, though I think his main team does not include Ralph. Meanwhile, Nori's Ralph almost dead and cornered against Giant's Kula. Now it's Giant's turn to whiff sweeps to prepare Shoryukens there. That's a dead Ralph. Misses the cross-up jumping C, goes for raise spin, too far away to punish. Countered raise spin into Shoryuken, into EX super, just takes that damage. 60% done, nice reflect there for Nori. Nori now building some meter, sits on 2 stocks. I was a bit too late there on the Shoryuken. He was buffering it. Interesting. Goes for the quadruple back C anti-air. Very strange. I'm not sure whether that was intentional. Saving shift there for Nori. It's not looking too good for him. He had to invest a lot of resources. However, he's at 3 stocks, so if he manages to get a good standing A in, then he can just confirm with the Tenryu. That would almost be a waste against Kula though, so she's almost dead. He just needs 1 or 2 more hits. There we go. And Okizeme, fake cross up, tries to punish the roll slightly too late there with the close D. Now Gian with Ralph, jumping E, and gets hit by the sweep. Dandy step is safe, jumping E counter hit, close D, jumping D, too far away for the up kick super there for Nori's Gato. Now back to neutral there, more jumping E's from Gian into the overhead, hard knockdown, meaty forward A, that was as meaty as it gets. There wasn't even a setup to make it as meaty as possible. And another saving shift for Nori, and now we have Kula in there again. Good guard cancel roll there against Tenryu, he would have been dead otherwise. Jumping D, close D, far D, and goes for the air dash, sniped out of it, breath slightly too far away for the combo there. And Nori trying his utmost to make this happen. That's a dead Kula. And 13 seconds left on the timer. Basically repeating what we've seen so far in these matches. These matches take a very long time. Nori is just such a patient player, and Gian is also not overly committing to anything dangerous, even though he's slightly more aggressive. And so far it's working out for Gian, leading with 6-2 against Nori. I'm expecting Nori to get a couple of more wins in here. He just needs these hits with Ralph to make his team spiral out of control, basically, and win the match. Giant's Cooler though is just so strong, it's difficult to get these hits in. Same thing we've seen against Russia. Far C for Ralph. No, Ralph having to block, unfortunately. His anti-airs unfortunately aren't really good. He doesn't really have any anti-air options except jump up C, which is one of the fastest anomals in the game, but it's very hard to land. The jumping E, far C, backs off a bit, trying to stay in far E range, far E upper range actually. There we go, command grab, roll back command grab, very nice, punish there, goes for the jumping C. It was an option select throw there, but there was a guard cancel, so he couldn't throw her. Hence the super quick C, I would say. And now Ralph unfortunately is dead, and it's Nori's Kula in the ring. Cross up into standing A, confirmed into Tenryu for Gian, having a huge lead now, sits at 1 stock. Nori's cornered again, nice Shoryuken there, Hail Mary, but it was necessary. Nice Kara cancel there from the sweep into the race spin. Unfortunately the timing was slightly off, and the super still hit. Nice cross-up combo there, standing cross-up combo. You can do that with close D, with Gato. And another nice hit confirmed there. And now Kula has to block Okizeme. He goes for the projectile Okizeme, hits a counter hit out of race spin, and Gian has to pay dearly for that. It's a dead Kula. Nice crouching B hit there. Unfortunately wasn't able to confirm from standing D into Tenryu for whatever reason. Crouching B into sweep, typical block string. Jumping D instant overhead, gets to standing A, didn't confirm though into LDM. Trade, goes for the jumping E. Surprised he didn't go for jumping D into upkick super. I guess he wants to hang on to those 2 super stocks. Oh no, misses his Tenryu. He's again at 1 stock though. Rolls through, and Gian now with the miss jumping E. Immediate punish on the land recovery there from Nori now getting the kill with the meaty projectile. Another meaty projectile unfortunately wasn't meaty enough, and Gian managed to roll through and punish the landing recovery with Tenryu. Too bad, that could have gone either way. And Gian also taking that match, leading 7-2. Very convincing performance there. All of these matches are super exciting. It does not feel one-sided, despite Gian always taking these matches. They're very exciting to watch. So let's hope they keep up this pace, or maybe even turn it up a notch or 2. Crank it up. I'm not sure what the rules are, whether you are allowed to change characters in these first 2 tens, but that's not usually something these players do. They are committed to their teams, and they, I think they also pride themselves on their teams. Particularly players like Russia with this very unique and team that he basically defined, and the same for Nori. When I think of Nori, I think of his Ralph. It's just, it's cool to see Ralph played at this high level. Jump C counter hit, jumping E, far E misses. Gian managed to roll out of the corner, crouching A managed to break out, another crouching A, he was safe there. Run up command grab to punish the race spin. I'm not sure if that's a legit punish, but it was very smart. Counter hit into standing C, very nice. Close B from Ralph gives insane frame advantage, hence the block string from Nori there. And oh, crouching C anti-air, very situational, worked out really nicely. Roll out from Gian worked there to punish the Ralph kick. Unfortunately Ralph backing off now a bit, crouching A into upper, interrupted by the jumping E, and standing A into shift was probably supposed to be Shoryuken into shift there for Gian. Gian now cornered after the command grab with Gato, manages to break free, misses his jumping D, immediate punish from Nori with command grab, back into the corner with you. Finally, Gato breaks free with an upkick super, hits Ralph out of the OTG move with a crouching B, very interesting. Nice overhead there, crouching C for a reset into the overhead, another jumping D, and this is what I want to see from Ralph. Super nice Ralph round here. Take out your notebooks, this is how you play Ralph, and that's some nice tricks he showed there, how you can play him. Particularly that Ralph kick into the crouching C pickup, into the juggle anyway LTG move, hitting on the way up. So now only Ryo's left for Gian, and Nori's Gato is in the ring. Jumping C, blocks the guard cancel, immediate punish with Tenryu, and Nori takes the match. I think it was an important win psychologically for Nori, just to see that he can take these matches with Ralph and it actually works out, and he can, if he wants to kill 2 characters, maybe even 2.5 characters, if he plays well. Very important to have a win like that in a set like this, where you are behind. I would not think this rustled Gian in any way, though. I mean, he knows he still has the lead, and so far his plan has been working. So Nori needs to take a few more wins, I think, before Gian gets worried. So let's hope that Nori steps up now and does again what he just did. Oh, very dangerous jumping D there, but fortunately Gian wasn't ready with the Shoryuken. Far C hits her out of her jump attempt. Nice jump up E to stop her, and manages to punish the slide with a throw. Kula is cornered, now breaks out with the command grab. Didn't block the jumping C, but that's fine. Standing C, guard cancel standing C, and that was a punish from Kula. I'm just too slow, this is too fast for me. Jumping E, crouching A into crouching C. Whiffs, he goes for the jump up C just to, in case she jumps at him, he can punish her. So he kind of caught on in the ways how Gian approaches and tries his luck now with these jump ups. It's still a very even match, even though Ryo is dead. Unfortunately, missed Shoryuken into a full back turn, punished the 60% life gun, and saving shift from Gato into jumping D. That's a dead Kula. I would say the match is very even now again. We have 2 dead characters. Gato only sitting at 1 stock. Eats a lot of counter hits right now, already 50%, 60% life loss. Goes for the trade into... It's just standing C, interesting, didn't go for the jumping D, and eats even more hits, is almost dizzy now from all the hits in neutral, and Gian now smelling blood, just trying to go in for the kill. Meanwhile, we see Nori's Kula in the ring, jumping C, instant overhead, blocked there. I keep saying instant overhead, but it's just an overhead, but these small jumps are so fast. Anyway, jumping E Okizeme there, and trade there for Gato, and Kula is dead now. Nori's Gato only with a pixel left, but 4 stocks, eats the jumping E and goes down. And Gian leading with 8-3, so a massive lead now for Gian. We're closing in to the end of this, to the potential end of this first to 10. Hopefully Nori can make something happen.
この初手クーラのね、このレイスピン、弱レイスピンと強レイスピンの2択と言ってもいいんでしょうかね。どっちかというとノリはその弱レイスピンをガードした後に弱アルゼンチンを決めて、切り返していきたいんですけど、相手側もその強レイスピンという選択肢がありますんでね。で強レイスピンをガードすると相手側がかなり有利を取れますので。Shoryuken from Gian, jumping C, close C, heavy kick, raise spin, very nice punish there, crouching C into upper, look at that damage into OTG, Gian managing to roll out of the corner, wow, counter hit jumping E, he saw it, he knew that the breath was gonna hit counter hit, so he was able to connect the standing E. Unfortunately he wasn't able to do an upper there, it's just not possible, because you have to Kara cancel something, and whatever you would Kara cancel there would also hit, so that was actually the perfect combo there with the jumping E. Jump C whiffs, doesn't matter, punishes the roll-up with command grab, very nice, I like that, because he would have been able to block anyway. Jumping D, crouching A, hit confirm to upper into OTG, looking very good now for Ralph right now. Upper, I think there was not a punish that far B, he tried pushing buttons there. Ooh, got the counter jumping E into jumping E with Ryo, now Ryo shifting his far B to Gato. Nice hit there, even more uppers into OTGs, far C trade there with Gato, I'm not sure what traded there.
And jumping E takes the kill against Ralph, and now it's Kula against Gato, jumping E counter hit, jumping E, back to neutral. Giant as usual doing his best to build some meter up. Actually he is at full stock, doesn't matter though, it's just a habit I guess for him. Ah, nice, dodges the Tenryu by jumping. That's the one downside of Gato's LDM, you can simply jump it, and if you get hit airborne it totally doesn't matter. So it's very, very advisable to try and do airborne Okizeme if he sits on two stocks. And connects the super, tries to go for the small jump recross, but Giant tried throwing and gets the close C. Giant now trying to attempt the jumping E, close C into forward A. Dashes up, then blocks, goes for the overhead jumping E, crouching B, standing A, forward A. Forward A gives plus, but not enough to combo after, and goes for the shift to Kula, and Giant's Ryo still alive and struggling, goes jumping E, counter hit, and jumping another jumping E, and Kula takes it with Ryo. It was a close hit there. As Sana is saying in chat, Korega Ralph power. That's Ralph power. So 4 wins now for Nori. I want him to at least have 5 victories. Hopefully more. The dream would be a set like yesterday's Urusha versus Giant. Or even Shingo versus Urusha, which was 2 days ago. That was also fantastic. So here we go again. And already Nori's corner trying to roll out, gets thrown back into the corner. Kula with the breath. Nori with the jump out jumping D. Giant didn't want to Shoryuken there because of the angle that could have whiffed. Ooh, nice back turn punish there. Ah, look at that damage, 60%, going for the jumping C. Giant just reversaling, and Nori getting hit a bit here and there. Is now cornered again, gets knocked down by the crouch combo, instant overhead, nice guard there, and nice Shoryuken there from Giant on reaction, and pins him, gets the breath finally, and that's a dead Ralph. And now it's Kula versus Kula. Ah, that's a full up kick loop, that's very painful. This hit just in time as well before the... Oh! He tried resetting. Why did he not? He either tried resetting or he missed his super into LDM. I'm not sure what happened actually. So it's not too good now for Giant. Ooh, that's not too good for Giant. Okay. Interesting that he didn't go for the shift combo to Gato there and just go for super into LDM. Just blow all your meter to get rid of Gato. But I'm sure Nori knows what he's doing, so he had a plan, I'm sure. Good super there, gets the hard knockdown, going for meaty projectile Okizeme. Rolls to the projectile, nice anti-air with forward B there. And more projectiles, just taking a sweet time. There was a punish there that jump C, but it led to nothing. Goes for the backdash to bait reversals from Ryo, but Ryo is just chipping away at Nori's Gato. Nori's Gato getting the throw, another projectile reversal. We've seen this before, wake up roll into LDM. This is the second time we've seen this. Giant just either does it on reaction or he knows he's coming. This is a very nice punish there in the mirror match. And Ryo sniping Kula out of her sweep with his projectile, and Ryo just throwing out these wild jumping E's to stop potential approaches, basically using them as air pokes. Another one, and takes it. Another match that was closer as it looked actually, with only 24 seconds on the timer left. So this is match point now for Giant. Giant's leading 9-4. Good set though so far. Very, very nice and exciting play so far, and high game speed as always. And as I say, this high game speed, yes, the timer goes down really low in these matches, but just the turns are so short, and they keep trading blows back and forth, and that's, to me, very exciting and fast. And I think also what makes a good match. To watch at least. C counter hit. And goes for the jumping E. That was misspaced, interestingly, by Nori. That wouldn't have even hit. But I could also have been just a bait for the Shoryuken of Giant. Nori backing off now, going into neutral, not even guarding there, waiting to see something he can react to. Unfortunately, he's cornered, has to be very careful. Now he's out of the corner, goes for the armor command grab there after the race. Then interesting. Walk up nothing and then block slow, and Giant doing a really delayed overhead there, and Nori not being ready. That was also really strange. That's why it worked, I guess, and that's a dead Ralph. It's gonna be difficult for Nori there. Oof, gets hit airborne by the quarter circle forward A from Gato. Gato again with the quarter circle forward A. Punished there, Shoryuken. Goes for the upkick, super hits, and Kula now lost about 40% in total already. Kula rolling out. It's mirror match now. Ooh, greedy Shoryuken there. Does not go for the saving shift. He knows if he saving shifts there, his Gato will just get hit full by that EX super. So I guess a good call not to do saving. Also he tries to I guess save it for combos. It's the only way he can win now. Guard crush, now there's the saving shift. Crouching B, Giant getting hit out of backdash again. And both players taking their time, trading projectiles here more or less. Back and forth, air dash, gets stopped by the dive kick, jumping E, standing E, jumping D, standing C, shift to Kula, and that's a launch, that's a hard knockdown. Ooh, Tenryu, that's a dead Kula. Unfortunately, Nori has absolutely 0 stocks now. And cross-up hits, wasn't able to confirm, he's almost guard crushed, and that's a Tenryu, that's a dead Gato, and Nori goes down, and Giant takes it 10-4. Very convincing set there from Giant, and I think a pleasure to watch from both players. I would have loved to see more action from Nori's Ralph, but it's just so hard against a player of Giant's caliber and against these very strong characters like Kula and Gato. But I'm sure you've seen these 2-3 matches where you could see the potential of the character that Nori showed us. So a really cool set, and that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I might be doing the Shingo vs Urusha set tomorrow, so we will have 3 of these videos after each other, 3 nights. Because that's outstanding, and I think you should also see it, especially if you've seen the ones before, Shingo vs Urusha. This last one is a treat as well. So thanks for watching again, and see you next time.